Hi, welcome to this screencast. This is going to be just a general Weebly's tips, how to do various things within Weebly so that you can kind of make the most of your site. I've just got a blank site up here that I picked a random theme. Now, I can do a number of things here. If I don't, for some reason, if I don't like my theme, I can always change it. They've got Weebly has new themes. The newer themes have these menus up here that you may notice from mobile devices, and that will create that by clicking on that'll show your menu. It doesn't actually show your navigation menu up here like a normal website. So if you do like that type of look instead, you can always go to the theme and you can, of course, change the colors, but you can change your theme. So um, the top ones you can kind of tell the which ones have uh, these look to them, and then these other ones have more of the traditional feel to it. Okay, so I'll just go and I'll choose one here because I'd prefer having my navigation visible on top. Okay, so that's one tip on changing your theme. Now, the next thing is these banners. You've always got these banners on each page, and you can tell that these two pages, the About and Contact, look differently than the home page. Well, if you go down to this settings icon and you click, you can see that there are different heading types that you can choose from, and you can play around with these all you want to kind of decide which ones you like. What I like to do is the home page is probably one where you may be a little different on the home page, but for the most part, you want to try to keep your banners consistent across pages. Okay. Now, if you don't like this image that they have here, you can click on the image. You can choose a different image, select it. You can move it around. You can change some options up here. You can also upload your own image if you have a banner that you prefer that you would like to use. Okay, you can do that and then save it to just one page or all the pages. Okay, so that's how you change the banner. Okay. So again, you can kind of do what you want with that. Now you'll notice that some of these have a click to add headline option here. If I were to go and publish my view, my website, and look at it from live view, if I don't type anything in there, then it's nothing's going to show up. Okay, so even though that click to add headline is showing up there, it doesn't necessarily mean that it'll show up in my live view. Now, if I were to type something and then publish, okay, and then go to my live site, okay, well, didn't show up. Let's try that again. Wonder which page. Oh, you know what? I was on the contact page, and there it shows up on my contact page. Okay, so that's completely up to you on what you want to do, but it is a good idea to keep things consistent. Now, when it comes time to naming your site, you can put your own logo in there. Okay, by selecting and finding it on your computer, or you can turn it off completely. You can change it by just typing. Okay. Now, up here in the Pages tab, it shows me all of my pages. Now I can, by clicking on the page, I can also change the header here as well. Okay, if I want to do that, we won't really worry about visibility in advanced. Okay, but one thing that you are going to be doing with this site is a couple of your pages are going to be hidden. So I'm going to add new pages. For the most part, we'll do standard pages. I'll call this references. I'm going to change my header to none. And I'm going to have what's called hidden pages. Okay, and what that means is that it's not going to show up in my navigation. You see that when I uncheck it, it shows up, but when I check the box, it will show up. So I'll click on Save, and then I'm going to add another page, standard page, and I'm going to do the same thing with my strategic planning map. Okay, I don't want it showing up here, so I'll do hide in navigation and save. Okay. And you could tell it's hidden by this little eyeball with a line through it. Okay. Now I also want to change that to no header. Okay. Now, if for some reason there comes a time where you want to have a what's considered a drop-down menu effect, I can add a new page, and I'll save it. Okay. Now it's on my navigation bar, but maybe I want it to show up under my About page or some other page on my site. What I can do is I can drag it up and drop it right below my About page and indent it a little bit. And you see how it's no longer on my navigation bar, but if I hover over the About page, it is now visible. Okay, so just by doing that little indentation, that creates the drop-down menu. Okay. So that's the difference between hidden and live pages and then the drop-down menu. Now let's go to the home page. Okay, Weebly has something nice. If you're not really into doing your own designs, you can choose a pre-designed layout that has dummy text, and you can kind of choose from, and then you can replace things and put in your own pictures and your own text. You can also add, I'm going to X out of here. I can also, if I go back up to the build button, I can also format it my own way. So what I'm going to do is each page should have some sort of title so that I know what page I'm on. So this is my Weebly Tips home. Okay. Now I can add a bunch of things here. I can obviously add text elements. And you see I dropped that in the wrong spot, so if I need to move it, I can just drag it, and you kind of see this blue line that shows up underneath. That's where it's showing me where it's going to hide. Now if I also want to put like a picture, I can put a picture obviously under it, and you see that blue line right under it. Okay, but maybe I want to create what's called columns, and I want to put this text and this picture right next to each other. Well, I can drag it to the right. Okay, and you see the blue line, and if I were to let go, then my picture would be over here, or I could drag it to the left, my picture would be over there. And what is nice about this is it creates this column, and I can do this a second time as well if I'd like. So now I've got 3 columns, but I can drag these columns around and kind of format them in the way I want to. Now if I have another section down here that I want to use, I've got a couple nice things that are called like a divider, which will give me like a divider line. If I don't like that, I can delete it, and maybe I can add a spacer instead. Okay, and maybe I don't like this picture here, so I can drag it down here. Okay, and I can drag some text down here. Okay, and again I can reformat my columns. Right. So this is kind of a way to format things the way that you want to. Okay, using the spacer and the columns feature like that. Now, one of the things you're going to be doing on your site, and I'll just show you on the home page, but you'll be doing it on one of your other pages, is you may be doing some links. Okay, you might be linking to either outside sites or sites within your page. So for example, you're going to be creating a reference page, a reference link, and you're going to be creating a strategic planning map link. Okay, and you'll be doing these. I'll show you mine. I believe I have them on my contact page. Okay, I haven't added them yet, so let me actually get rid of this on the home page. Oops. Okay, go to my contact page, drag over text. I think I show you this in another video about your contact page. Let me choose the contact layout here. And I don't need this. We'll keep it. I don't need this map. But what you'll be doing is on your contact page, you're going to be adding a couple links to those hidden pages that we created. Okay, the reference page isn't up here, the strategic planning map page isn't up here. But what we can do is just type in some plain text, and then if I highlight it and then click on the create link button, I can link out to a website, a store page file, but I'm going to link to a standard page and click on references and say save. Okay, same thing with the strategic planning map. Highlight it, standard page, strategic planning map. Okay, so that means that those will link out to those pages. Okay, so although they're hidden from my navigation, they're still accessible from within my site. So you'll make sure that you do those. Another thing is, let's say for some reason I want to link out to the Weebly homepage. Okay, so I go here, I copy the URL, and instead of doing text like this, maybe I want to do a button. Well, I can drag and drop that button to wherever I want, and I can type in here Weebly homepage. Okay, I can play around with the buttons, the text, the style. Maybe I want it yellow. Okay, I want it centered, and I can link to it. Now here is where when I click on the link, I can paste a website URL. Now anytime you're taking somebody outside of your site, that's where you might want to check this box that says open. You want to check this box that says open link in a new window. It just allows you to your viewer to stay on your page if they go to another page. Okay, so now, sorry about that. So now I've got this linked out to a Weebly page. Let's go ahead and publish this and see how it looks. Okay, so this is my live view. Here's a link to my reference page. Okay, that takes me to references, my strategic planning map, and my Weebly homepage. And you see how that opens up into a new tab there. Okay, so that is adding buttons, which is certainly a nice option. Makes it look your site look really nice. And you may be doing this later on in your in your website. Okay. Now the last thing I want to show you is bringing pictures into your site. So let's go to my home page, and I added the image element. So I'm going to click on the upload image. I will drag one of my, let's see here. Sorry about that. Grab one of my pictures there. Okay, and my picture is brought in. Okay, maybe I want it a little bit bigger. Again, I can drag my my column over, and if I want to edit it, I can click on the picture itself and edit it right in here. And this allows me to do some cropping if I want to maybe just really zoom in on the eyes. I can say okay. I could change obviously how transparent it looks. Okay, and I can do some other effects that I might like. Okay, so you can always do some editing right in Weebly and then save when you're finished. Okay, so those are some general tips and tricks that you can use with Weebly. There are some different elements that we'll be using throughout the course of the semester, but again, feel free to play around with these so that you can kind of get comfortable with how to use Weebly. Okay, thanks a lot.